Welcome to Surreal Studios and the Real Tony Stark's Unibeam how-to video. If you're watching this, that means that you've either taken interest in our Unibeam product, or you have actually ordered one already and are waiting for it to arrive. This video is going to show you all the components that you'll be receiving if you've purchased one of these, as well as how to install the batteries, how to charge them, and what all the components do. So, first of all, I'll show you what you get in your package. You will get the Unibeam itself with all enclosed hardware. That's a beautiful thing, eh? And as well, you will get two 1000 milliamp hour lithium polymer batteries. We tape them together for convenience of storage. You will get this wonderful battery backing plate. Helps contain the batteries, and it fits very nicely and snugly onto the back, courtesy of Matt and his awesome design work. There are also two screws which allow the backing plate to be held in place, and a neodymium magnet to activate the various modes. And lastly, you will get one of these two cables. They ran out of stock on the one, so we just ordered another one. Does the same thing. I'll show you how they work for charging in a moment. So first of all, let me show you how to connect the batteries. Right? That's the first thing we want to know how to do. Both of the batteries have a JST connector on them, which is good. It's convenient. There are two connectors on here, obviously, that go with those batteries. One of them is concealed in behind the Arduino. So this is the Arduino here. Right in the back and behind, there is a small white socket where the JST plugs into. So you'll see that right in the back there. In order to get the battery in quickly, I just bend the wire about 90 degrees right at the back of the connector, and then place it in behind. Let's see if I can get this. Nice. So that's it. It's not too difficult. This one's even easier because the connector is right here, protruding out the back of the Arduino. And I've actually shaved the JST plugs down a bit because they're notorious for being really difficult to. Once they're into the socket, it's very difficult to get them out. So they should be fairly easy for you to put in and out. And then once they're both plugged in, you can turn it on. So the on-off switch is located right here on the Arduino. And once it's on, of course, you can take the magnet here and activate the various modes. What we did, well, Matt, there are grooves here on this part of the design on the front. Where there's a double groove, it's actually like that in the movie. The double groove is what we decided to conceal the magnetic sensor behind. So that will help you in terms of positioning the Unibeam in your suit, so you know where to activate or to wave this magnet by to switch between modes. We recommend putting this maybe in the tip of your glove, like the finger. That way you can use precision and just wave it by. So I'll show you an example. And also, I specifically say wave it by because that's how it works best, most effectively. So as opposed to just holding the magnet there, you just want to do a little swipe by to activate. So of course there's the blast, and if you've ordered it, the battle damage mode as well. And back to stable. So that's it for the operation of the Unibeam. Next I will show you how to enclose the batteries in the backing plate here. The backing plate is optional, mostly because it does add about 3/8 of an inch to the back of your Unibeam. So if your suit can't contain that, then you obviously don't have to put it on there. You can just leave the batteries exposed like this and maybe attach them to the inside of your test plate some other way. In terms of positioning the batteries before you put the plate on, what I found to be most effective is to put them flat relative to the Unibeam here, and just give them a few twists until you get them perpendicular to, if you look at the two screw holes here, if there's a line going through, you want the batteries to end up perpendicular to that line. So let's give this a try here, see how this fits in. Then you take the plate. One thing you want to note is that these slots line up with the screw holes, but it only fits on one way. So I'm going to take a shot here, and hopefully this is the right way the first time. Obviously if it's not, then it's just a 180-degree flip. And where are the holes? Looks like I got it wrong the first time, so that's okay. I'll try it again here. And again, just make sure those wires aren't getting caught in between. There we go. So as you can see, it fits fairly snugly. You may have to press a little bit just to hold it up against. And then you'll take the screws and screw them in. There's also some very nice grooves here that Matt has cut out, so you can twist fairly easily. You don't need any sort of a tool to do it, just by finger is enough. And this plate, the backing plate, is also optional because when you have it screwed on tight, it does muffle the sound quite a bit. So if the sound effects are something that you really want to be part of the suit, the backing plate can be left off a little bit, so leave a bit of a gap in between, or even removed entirely, and that should allow a bit more sound to come through. So that's it for assembling the Unibeam. The next thing I want to show you is the charging of the battery. So as I mentioned, you'll get one of these cables. They're USB. This one goes to micro and then to this little module. And regardless, both of them have a 6-pin connector that coincidentally slides onto the 6 pins here on the Arduino. With this little module, it's fairly easy to know which direction to put them on, because you're just going to slide it on like so. With the other one, you'll want to make sure there's an exposed side where you can see some of the connections through it, and then there's a flat side. The flat side should be facing outwards when you connect it onto the Unibeam. So make sure that you always pay attention to that. I don't think it's too big a deal if you connect it in the wrong way, but I would just try to prevent that if you can. Make sure that the flat side faces outward when you're connecting it. Once it's connected to the Arduino, you can plug it into any USB port on a computer. And what you'll notice is that I've got it in the off position right now, and yet the program still runs. Reason why is, at least on my computer, I've got the drivers for this, so it's running the program. But if that happens on yours as well, all you have to do is slide the on-off switch in between the on-off positions. So just in the middle, it will turn it off and still allow the batteries to charge. This yellowy orange indicator light is tells you if the battery is charging. Right now it is currently charging. When that light turns off, the battery is completely charged. Because there's only one port on the Arduino, that means you have two batteries. That means you need to disconnect this battery and disconnect the other one and swap them so you can charge it. So I'll show you. It's fairly simple to unplug these. Just if you need a pair of tweezers or pliers to reach in behind, that's not a bad idea. If you can just maneuver it with your fingers, that's okay too. So one thing that you want to know as well is the battery that whichever one you use, it doesn't matter, that you use for the Arduino is going to last about 4 times longer than the one for the LEDs. So the one for the LEDs is the one that's plugged in behind the microcontroller that powers the LEDs. So you get about 4 times less length in battery life for the LEDs than you do for the Arduino. So when that one runs out, which we tested about 28 hours, not bad, you just swap them, put the LED battery in here, connect your USB cable and 6-pin thing, and you'll start charging that one. So really simple to do. That's it for the charging of these. I think that's all the features that I needed to show you. We really want to see what you do or how they look in your suit. So please post videos and photos onto our RPF or the replica prop forum site that we have. We want to see how they look in your suit, post videos, photos, we want to see everything. So yeah, this is the real Tony Stark signing off. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more exciting products in the future.